Okay, because I know that I have like a 14 days free loop for me to explore the whole parts of this platform. I am making a video so that you could see how it works, and then you could have a clear understanding of how the Asana platform looks like. So if you look down here where my cursor is, you could see I have advanced free trial for 14 days left. And after that, I'll have to add my card for them to bill me. But because I do not want to do that, I am doing this video. So when you come to Asana, right, this is how it looks like once you log in. It will greet you depending on the time of the day you are. It will show you um, what you have within that week. It will show you the number of tasks completed and the number of collaborators you have. Because I don't have any collaborators, I've not invited anyone, okay, for that week, right? It is showing the number of tasks and collaborators for this week, right? Because I don't have any collaborators, it is not showing any number. You could see here under my task, it is showing the task I included today. Okay, it's showing the upcoming task, right? The upcoming task is dependent on what? The dates. So for my have a brainstorming meeting with my team is upcoming on the 26th, that is the due date, and then start writing a draft, right? Is coming on the 30th. That's why it's upcoming. Then there are dues, there are some project tasks that are overdue. I set them in 2024 when I was having a section with another class. And that is why it is overdue. Nothing was done to it. So that is how your own project will look like. The task you put into Asana will look like. If you have overdue task, it will be under here. And then if you have completed task, it will be here. Okay. So that is how it looks when you come into Asana. But I want you to look at this red arrow here, which has create. Once you click on create, you can create tasks, you can create projects, you can maybe send a message to your team members, you can create portfolios, and you can create a goal. And under create as well, you can invite collaborators. So if you're working on a project with different team members, this is where you could easily add them to your project. Okay. So with Asana, you can have different projects running, right? Different projects, and under every project there is a task. So before now, I had added a project. So once you have added a project, here you see project. This is where you will see the project. You see this arrow here. It's a place where you can add new project or new portfolio. Okay, the new portfolio, I believe, works for you as the project manager, but we will come back to that. So let's go to projects. So on that project, okay, let me go and add. This is a new project, the project I added. Let us start a new one. Let's add a new project so you see how it works. So once you click on projects, I hope you saw what I just did there. So once you see a new project, you click on a new project, it brings you to this place, this workflow gallery. It shows you the workflow built for teams, right? Okay. These are what the workflow for teams. Workflow for organization, there is nothing here. You can create a new template for marketing. There are templates for you here. Operations and PMO. PMO, I believe, is Project Management Office. You have Project Management Office here, or Project Management Operations. I'm not really sure. So you have that different like project plans for different different things, like for goal setting operations, for cross-functional project plans. So if you have like different teams playing, like different departments playing different roles for a big project, you can choose this cross-functional plan. Okay. The Kanban boards kind of, it's for those who are more visually not impaired or visually impaired, like people who gets to understand things visually than when it is in tables. You can use the Kanban board, right? And then you can have this project timeline, operation project plan. It all depends on what you want, okay? Then you can come for more. There's design, there's IT, there's product and engineering, there's HR, there's sales. So depending on your department, so if it's someone who is in HR, the person will click on HR, someone on sales will click on sales, someone's in product and engineering will click on product and engineering, someone in IT will click on IT, someone in design, right? Graphic designs and the rest will click on design. But I don't want to pick on any of these templates for the productivity. This is how it looks as well. So if you want to use Asana just to track your productivity, right, you can use any of these templates that have been shown here. There's one for project management as well. Okay, so let me pick uh this one, project management. Like I said, this will not show if I was not on a free trial. Okay, this is one of the things that are being part of the build package. So because I'm on a free trial, I'm able to click on this. And when you start exploring it on your own end, you'll be able to click on it and use the template. So I clicked on use the template. Now it's telling me to choose a project name. I could call it World Environment Day celebration. So privacy, now you want to know whether it's just to be private for members, the people you would um who you would invite will be able to find and access this project, or you want it just for everyone in your workspace, they can find and access this project. So anybody you have invited into your workspace, once they get in, they'll be able to see this. So we'll click on this, my workspace, and then go in. So now schedule dates, end or start dates. So we could click on choose a start date. So I'll click on in the 11th, and then my end date could be on let's say on the 26th, right? Now here it's asking you if you want to schedule task on a weekend. If you click it, it will schedule tasks for you on the weekend, but you can schedule tasks on the weekend. But I'm not clicking it because definitely I don't want to work on the weekends. So create projects. So once it's created, so this is how it looks like. The World Environment Day celebration. It kind of brings out the templates for you from planning to execution to launching of the day, So it kind of makes it easy, sets it for you, like demarcates it. So unlike this one here, there is no demarcation. I have to do it by myself. And if you want to start all afresh, you don't want to use any template, you can still come here to create, click on project. Okay. Now it's showing me project management because that is what I have started using, right? But then I don't want to use any of those templates I showed you earlier, and I choose on a blank project. So when you click on a blank project, you can add your name, the name. Let's do International Forest Day. celebration, or let's take it to sustainability, sustainable livelihood projects, for example. Okay, it's still the same thing. It's just that with a blank, there is no the additions or whether you should set your set task for weekends. So it has the same thing like my workspace. And if you want to set up with Asana AI, this is the AI integrated to Asana, the platform, and um it comes under the paid version. So I'm able to see it because I told you again, I'm on a free trial. So with the Asana AI, that means you have like your document already of your project that you have broken down to different tasks and activity. What you need to do is just upload it here, and then you can now prompt it here, right? It's once you prompt it here, write the prompts, whatever you have uploaded, whether it's a work plan and you want it to demarcate it into different tasks for you, you can just describe anything you want to be as detailed as possible under how do you want to use this project. And it will generate a view for you. And once it has generated, it will show you here. If it doesn't, it show you here where this my cursor is. If it's not up to par to what you are looking for, you can still come back here and tweak your prompt, and then if it kind of brings out the results you want, you generate the view and then you continue. So I don't have any I don't have any I don't have any file like that. So let me just show you how the blank space looks like. So you continue, and then it shows you everything that is part of your project. Okay, it has a GNAT, it has notes, it has work plan, it has calendar, it has list, it has timeline, everything, and then you go ahead and create the project. Okay, so it's loading up, it's loading up, it's loading up, it's loading up, it's loading up. I just want you to see how you can add your task in the different one from the template and from the one without the template. Let's go to the one with the template. So with what environment planning? You could say task 1 under planning is I'm trying to rename it, so we can rename it here. Okay, we can say brainstorming with team, planning of first meeting with the planning committee. Okay. So as you're making these changes, it is showing here. Then you want to assign it to someone. Okay, these are the people who are in my workspace, right? I have invited them into my workspace. So I can decide to assign one person or assign several persons, okay? So I can add this, I can still add this, I can add this, so assign task, okay? And then the due date, you can then add a due date for the first planning meeting to be held, right? We can say the first planning meeting to be held is on the 15th. Okay. It's showing from where to when. So let's just leave it 2 days planning meeting. That is it. Okay. And then we have what environment? That's planning stage. Then here you want to estimated time to carry out this planning meeting. You can say 30 minutes. You can say it's going to hold for 45 minutes. Or you want it to hold for an hour, right? Okay. And then is it of greater priority? You can set the priority level. Is it high, medium, low? It's definitely a high priority because you have to have that first meeting to know how it will go. So we are still on the planning stage, and this has not yet started. So the status is not started. And then it has this particular place where you can put a description to that task. So for this one, because it's the first meeting with the planning committee, you can add the agenda for that meeting here. Okay, so you can add agenda for that meeting. So that everyone who have been assigned, who are supposed to be in that meeting, and you have assigned them, like all those people are assigned, do we see the agenda? And when they come for the meeting, it is everybody knows the agenda for the meeting, and you go straight into your meeting. And if there is a subtask, like there's a concept, like a other things, other activity under that main task, that are under this first meeting with the planning committee, you can add it here. So if in the agenda you have like a minute to be taken, you can add a subtask that the minutes, the minutes of this meeting will be taken by Shoma. Okay, so you want to add the due date for this, and then you want to assign it to Shoma. Okay, so it is now inside as a subtask. Okay, so if this task has been done, for example, this is where you come to mark that it has been done, right? Okay, so because I assigned multiple persons to this first task, right? It kind of splitted it out. Okay, it did not clump it together. It kind of splitted it out. And because I added a subtask, you see, it has this icon here. You can see this icon and where it is highlighting view subtask. That is where you could click it to view the subtask. It will just come up and show you the subtask. But as many as you add, if you want to know you want to see the subtask immediately and it's not yet showing this way, okay, you can just click on this and it will come up. So that's how you keep adding, adding, and adding, and adding. Let me show you. This is for the template, the one that we opened the project that we opened using the project management template. So let's go and see the one without without any template. So once you click on the blank template, this is how it looks like. So now it is up to you now to demarcate your clumped or cluster your activities or your tasks into different sections. Okay, so sustainable livelihood project, you can start by saying um project project planning and design. Okay, and under this, you can still assign someone. Let me assign it to Choma. And then the due dates, we can put it on the 17th, and voila. We can now still add a lot of things, another field to this. Okay, you can say you want it to be single select or multiple select or another date, or you want to add more people. Let's see if we can add more people. Okay, hold on. Okay. In terms of adding more people, you want to add people that are not on your here you can add people that are not in your workspace, but you need them inside this task. Okay. So you can add their title, right? Let's say accountants. We need an accountant here. Okay, it's under people, and then add, you want to add it to your workspace, your field library, and you want to notify collaborators when the field value is changed. So if you change it, you want to notify. So create, it's more like you're creating a field, right? Like part of the columns on your table. So let me see what it brings up. So accountant, right? So but then let me change it. I want to edit it. Under people now, you could, okay, yes, you could say who is accountable for this task. Okay. So what you want to do is, as much as you have assigned Trauma to do this, right? And you still want Trauma to be accountable to another person in your team, not just to you alone, but another person. Here is where you can now add that other person Trauma can be accountable to. Okay. So it kind of makes it so easy for you. So I want Trauma to be accountable to this Trauma, right? So Trauma is assigned to do this, to take charge of this section of your project, but then everything she does has to be accountable by this Immaculate Okafor. So as a project manager, if you don't want to, if you want to have information about, okay, what is happening under this section or this cluster of activities for this project, you can go directly to Immaculate Okafor. She's the one who knows what Chioma is doing. Okay. If those things are not shown on the tape on this workspace of yours. Okay, so you can add more fields as you want. You want to add a time tracking. Let's see how it works. So you want to write, okay, estimated time for us to do project planning and design. We could say 3 hours, 3 hours, 30 minutes. So after this is the estimated time you are estimating, calculating that planning, project planning and design will be done by Chioma. Okay, so when Chioma is done with the project planning and design, she will calculate the amount of time she used. And then if, for example, um she used 2 hours, 15 minutes. That is what she used for today in carrying out this task. So this is what she did, right? It kind of shows you the estimated time you estimate her to finish that task for that day, for that, for today. And then because the due date is Wednesday. Okay. And then she actually used 2 hours and 15 minutes. So it kind of gives you the amount of time people need. So next time you are making planning a project, you can know how much time you can give for every task. So this is for this column, this section of, this is for this task, sorry. This is for this task. Okay. Then you want to add more task again. You do the same thing, right? So as you add more tasks, let me put proposal writing, for example, and let's assign it to Mark Little Car for, we can put it on the 18th. And then let me say this would take 4 hours, 15 minutes. So it's kind of showing you like this column um that is moving downwards as you add your task. It's kind of calculating the amount of time that all of the task will be done. And then also, if, for example, after Trauma has done it on the 18th of September, and Immaculate has done it, sorry, on the 18th of September, and she used like 5 hours, for example, 5 hours, 15 minutes. Okay, yes, it's showing that it gives you an idea of how to budget your time. That is all I want to say here. So if you want to add another section, you can add another section here. So this workspace is showing you the list form. Okay, if you want to look at this, your workspace in boards, look at it. It will show you in cards. This is described as cards. Okay, it kind of gives you the pictorial view of your task. So it's called, the task here is project management. The estimated time is 3 hours. The time she did it was 2 hours. Who is accountable is Immaculate. This is assigned to Trauma. Okay, so it kind of gives you idea. And then here you can just write planning. You can name the section, okay? Then you can still add another section. If this way of adding your task works for you, you can use the board or you can use the list, okay? Then the timeline shows you like how your different tasks are on your calendar, okay? So if you just want to look at, okay, what do I have, like a quick overview on your timeline. This is how it shows you. Then the dashboard. The dashboard shows you the number of completed tasks, the number of tasks that are overdue, the total number of tasks, the number of incomplete tasks, okay? Okay, so as you fill in the different tasks for the different section, it will just show you because we only filled in for planning, it shows us that we have 2 tasks on planning. So let us go to execution. Let's put execution here. Execution, need assessments in the community. Let's do something quickly so that you can see how the dashboard works. We're assigning to this person. Let's put 26th. The estimated time for need assessment. Let's say 1 hour. And then we now use 30 minutes. Okay. Remember, I'm just putting in this actual time because I'm not supposed to put it now. Okay, let me just remove it. I'm not supposed to put it there. It's when this person has executed the project, she timed herself, right? And then she will now come here because she have access to this workspace. She can now put in the actual time. You as a project manager don't have to be on this workspace all the time, but because you have access, whenever you want to come and look at it, you want to look, okay, what task has been done and all that. So let's imagine that this task has been completed, we'll mark it as complete. Let's go to this task again. You click on it and this interface kind of shows up for you. You mark it as complete, okay? So I just want to show you how the dashboard looks like. So you come to the dashboard. Now we have more metrics or more figures on our dashboard, right? So we have 2 incomplete, 1 completed, right? 1 completed task, a total of 3 complete. I don't know why it says 2 incomplete. Let's go back because I know I marked this one as complete. This is complete. This is completed. So why is it marking it as incomplete? Yeah. Exactly. So we have two completed, one complete, three incomplete. It kind of even gives you a pie chart of completed and incomplete. Kind of makes it easy for you, right? So if you're making your writing um your report, this dashboard kind of gives you an overview quickly. It shows you how much time was spent on all of the tasks, okay, or the estimated time that will be spent. If we had calculated the actual time, let's go back to the list and just calculate the actual time. Okay, let's say she used 30 minutes, right? Okay, and let's uh mark this one complete as well. Okay, and then go back to our dashboard. I just want to see something. It's still not reflecting yet. Yeah, it is complete. It's supposed to reflect. Okay, I hope it's reflecting now. Okay, yes, everything is completed. This still shows the estimated number of time. So the total task completion over time, this is where you see the task that was of completed over time. It still shows the number of estimated. So here is where you can change it to actual time and save. Yeah, so you can click on it because it now shows you the project, right? I don't want to see this. I want to show you how I changed it. So I clicked on this, those two arrows, right? Okay, and then I click on this arrow. Let me go back because so here, this pen icon here to edit the chart. So instead of showing the estimated, I want it to be showing um my actual time. Okay, instead of showing estimated, I wanted actual time. And so I clicked on actual time. Okay, so that's how you change that. I hope this is quite clear. So if you come on home now, let's go to home. Now it shows you, I still have some upcoming task. I still have completed. It shows me the tasks that are completed and they are under the sustainable livelihood project, right? So I have that. Okay. And then it shows you again. Now you see, because I've done some entries for my week. I have one completed task and three collaborators because those are the people I assigned those different tasks on. I hope this is clear. So I clicked on my workspace. My workspace, it shows you the members in my community, in my workspace. I call it my community. It shows you the members, and you can even come here under members here, and then you can see the members. You can add their job titles, who they are. So it kind of gives you an idea. You can add more fields if it is relevant for you. There's a place for knowledge. I want to see how it looks. Add terms to give teammates shared context where they are collaborating. So if there are terms like acronyms you use, right, you can create entry, you can put the name of the term, and then you add the description. Whatever you add, every person who you have invited, every member here who I have invited into my workspace will be able to see this knowledge. So no one in your team member will say, oh, they don't understand your acronym, what TA is. So let's see something like this. There's TA. TA means target audience, for example. Okay. So every member of your team we'll be able to come here and see what TA means. So as you add more, let's say Eden, for example, sorry, let's say LIOS. LIOS means LinkedIn optimization strategist. So the more entries you put, okay, the more like you put entries of things that should be a common knowledge for every member of your team. So that's how the workspace look like. Let's go to list and see what it shows up. It shows you the list of your projects. So these are the list of my project that I have written, I have created here. So if you look at a book writing, Word Environment Day, Word Environment Day, create a course presentation, so you can add new projects here as well. So there are different places to add new projects. So if there are messages sent between yourself and members of your workspace, it will show here. And then it also have calendar. Your calendar shows the different tasks that should be done by who. Okay. So if you do not go into the timeline for every project, this calendar in your workspace shows every every task that are already in your different projects. I hope this is clear. So the inbox is basically still it kind of shows the messages that has been sent within the workspace. Okay. If you had a bookmark, you bookmark any notification or you bookmark any comments, okay, it will show here. Let me do something. Let us see how it works. So let's click on this. Let me click on it so this interface comes. So let me say add comment. I do not understand this task. What do you mean? Okay. So part of your works, one member of your team come to this place, looks at the project, and they are involved in that project. They don't understand it, the task you have put in. They can always add comments here, right? It shows the all activity shows what has been written. Okay, so this comment, you as a person, you will see the comment. Okay, anybody that comes in will see this comment and they can add comments. So with this one, you can react with this, any of this, right? You could react to this saying that you have seen it, probably. And then because I am the one looking at it, I could either edit the comment or copy the comment link and send it outside this workspace. So someone who clicks on the link can come directly to the comment, or I can delete it. So I want to show you how, okay, whoever who sees this comment from the other end, like another person who sees this comment that are collaborators on this project, they'll be able to reply and explain what it is. So I want to come back to this inbox to see. Okay. So I guess this activity works with if you receive any message, right? So that is what it works. So reporting, let's look at reporting. Get started. My organization, my impact. Let's create a dashboard and look at how it looks like. Okay. Let's say project by status. So it's telling me there's no recent updates. Let's look at task. So now it's showing me all the tasks. So the reporting is basically, you can use this part also to see, okay, how many tasks is assigned to who? So you see, Chioma has 9 tasks, Immaculate has 7, Chimmaculate has 3, Immaculate Arigasi has 1, and Kulatia has 1. So it kind of shows you, if you want it in stack bar, it shows you the different tasks, okay? Overdue, upcoming, completed, on schedule, something, all of that's like you can, okay? So for different people, right, you can just choose your different chat style, right? So this, you can add it to your dashboard. So that is for your reporting dashboard. You can come back to widget, to templates, okay? And then incomplete task, you can add it, right? So you have, right? So you can decide on what you want to see on your reporting. This is so exciting, isn't it? You can put a upcoming, and this reporting is for everyone. So basically on the reporting, you can design how you want your dashboard to look like. So for goals now, I just want to explore all the parts of this platform, this tool, so that you know how it looks like. So this is still loading. So welcome to Goal Strategic Map, goal title, time period, 0 people will be notified, skip to map. Let's see, no goal. Let's create goal. Let's go back. To achieve project achievement. Let us call it project achievement, please, for the lack of words to use. Let's use this person. Could be you can make the person the editor. Let me see if I can add more people. So the more you add people, so if you don't want people, the people you're adding, the people you have added into your workspace to be, to edit the goal, right? You can make them commenters, or you can make them viewers, or you can make them the goal admin. So it depends on your 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 desire, okay? So let's make them commenters from my end. The privacy could be public or it could be private to you and only to your members. Or if you want every person in your organization to see this when they come into your workspace, maybe when you share the link to your workspace, when they come in, you want them to see it. That is when you use public, but I will leave it at public because I definitely want everyone to see your goal. Okay, so to this project goal, here is where you can also brainstorm on what you want to achieve, probably a new project, for example, and you guys don't have the time to, like, you're working with a remote team. This will work perfectly because here under ask questions and leave a comment, after you have written the project goal, and you have invited people into um, your workspace, they can come into the goal, see what the goal for the project is, and then start asking questions if they need clarity. So you can basically brainstorm using this. So that is strategic goal, team goals. Here you can add um, the mission, right? To serve communities, let's say, to serve communities. Okay, you can add the mission, and then as you achieve the goal, the status will change from either 0 to 100, whatever. Okay, the time period, You want to put it either Q1, Q2, any of, let's say Q4, apply. Okay, there are no goals here. Let me see. Q8. Okay, so because all the things I have assigned we're in, we're in Q3 because we're in Q3 actually. So everything that we have done, every task we do, it will be reflecting here. So these are my goals. Because I set this goal, this is how it looks like, right? So as you keep coming to your project and you keep tagging complete, complete, complete for every task that you have done, this goal will be changing. The status of your goal will be changing. I hope this works. This is well explained. So let's come to portfolio, like explore the portfolio. Hold on, it is okay. So your portfolio actually just shows your different projects that you yourself have done as a project manager, the project you have managed, okay? So it kind of shows you the task progress, the owner, because I am the owner, right? These are the ones it shows. The one that I am not the owner doesn't show here because it's not my work. Okay, I hope you understand. So if you want to add update status, you can put on track. Okay, and then post it. So it's on track. And then, so it kind of helps you reply any messages if you had received any message from here as well. You can add reactions, you can copy message link, you can expand to full. So that is how you change the status of your project. If that project is at risk or off track, you looked at the task under because you're the project owner, that doesn't mean that you have not assigned other people. Maybe the people you assign, they're not doing what they're supposed to do, and you say, this particular project is off track, or it's on hold. You can put it on hold, right? You can add recipients. If there are people you need to be part of this task, you can add recipients as either editors or project admin or commenters. I want to add them as commenters. Let's see how we can add them. I can add Kulatia again. Let's add her, invite her to this project because it's on hold. Okay. And then because I want Kulatia to know that, okay, she has been added to this project. I can copy this project link to her. As soon as she opens it, it shows her that she has been invited and she has to accept the invitation. So that's why you see that part. It was showing pending. I can resend if she says, okay, she can't see the place where to accept, I can resend the invite here. But actually it was showing pending invitation acceptance. So then we can now post. Okay. So here the portfolio basically shows the project. You as a project manager, you are the owner of that project. Okay. So it shows all the projects you have done and it shows you the task progress. It shows you the due date and shows you the owner. So you can also add other fields, right? Estimated time if you want to track your time that it takes for every project that was under your care, under your management, it took to do. You can add text probably as to add more, to add comments, right? You could add maybe the phone numbers of people or maybe house address. So that's what the task is. So it's either you add phone number, you can add phone numbers of people or their email addresses or their house addresses or anything, something like that has to do with text, you writing text form. Okay, discard field. You can add number. Okay, this could be it could be currency like budgets. Let's say budgets. For each task, they have to be a budget. So you can change the currency to, oh, it's so bad that we don't have Nigerian currency here. So let's use USD. You can decide on the decimal places, either 2, 4 decimal places, okay, and create field. So now we have budgets. So every amount, remember every amount you put here, it will be in USD, right? It shows USD. So because I want it to be 1.4, but it is showing 0.00000. So I have to edit this field. Let me edit it. Go back to the decimal point and leave it at 2, or take it at to 1, or even take it at 0, please. So that every amount you're seeing here is actually the amount. So that's how it is. So for every project, you can add the budget, right? You can decide that you want to add this budget only where your portfolio is, or you can come here to every task. The best practice for project management is to add budgets, budgeted amounts, right? For every task so that you know. You can also add another field again, spent. So this kind of gives you an idea. Okay, this project, for having a brainstorming exercise, we're supposed to we are budgeting $100, but then we used $200. It kind of helps you know how you're also managing your funds. I hope this has been very, 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 very educative. Every time you open every project, it shows you the owner and the number of people who are assigned to it. So when you click on these 3 arrows, it kind of opens the people who are part of this project, okay? Shows you the project admin and shows you the editors, okay? Every person who are in my workspace, these 5 members who are in my workplace are editors. I invited them as editors. So they can come into my projects even if I have not assigned them yet. They can come into my project and make changes, except I change it to commenters. Okay, I want to go to the one that I have assigned people in them. So it still shows. So here is where you can now change it. I want them to be commenters for this particular project. So when you click on it, they're commenters. Let's go to another project and see if that changed there. So here they're still editors. So this is how you change it. You can change them to commenters. If you just want them to come to just comment and not make any changes on the project title, the budget and all that, you can put them as commenters. And what it means is that once they click on this project, right, they can only write comments. They cannot edit any part of this. They cannot edit the dates. They cannot edit who is assigned to. They cannot edit anything. They only can add comment. I hope this has been educative. This is how the Asana platform looks like. Thank you very much.